We're joined now by someone with an intimate knowledge of how things work inside the Manhattan District Attorney's office, and that is Jeremy Salan. He worked as...
Bro, I swear to God, like, the CNN coverage of this shit is so boring. Like, it's just so incredibly fucking boring, dude. Like, they're just like, this is the reason why they have to do it. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, just, dude, just put the fucking camera on the most psychotic right-wingers you can find, and let's just watch it. Like, I don't care about the real situation at hand. Okay? Yeah, Trump did, like, hundreds of fucking crimes, okay? He does more crime from the moment that you wake up and get out of bed. Before you get out of bed, Trump has already done multiple crimes. Okay? He's doing crime all the time. That's kind of his shtick. As a matter of fact, he's so open about the crimes that, like, people literally defend him on it. He's like, at least he's just, you know, at least he's honestly dishonest, right? That sort of thing. Right? And here at the Hasanabi broadcast, we love crime. We are big fans of it, okay? Part of the reason why we're big fans of Donald Trump. So I just want to see funny shit. I don't care about, like, a guy who worked at the fucking Manhattan district attorney's office and how, like, the intricacies of whatever. Yeah, here's my mind. I've made up my mind on this. I talked about it already. Do I think it's fucking a marginal thing to hit Trump on? Absolutely. Why? Because in the overall grand scheme of things, Trump has done so much worse shit. Will I still celebrate it if he goes and gets arrested? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay? Absolutely. It's awesome. It's funny as fuck. Stop, like, getting into the dumb, like, weeds of things and the drama and whatnot. I don't even think this has, like, this doesn't have informational purpose. It certainly doesn't have any educational value, but it doesn't have any, like, informational purpose either. Like, it serves no purpose.
Assistant district attorney in Manhattan for 7 years before current DA Alvin Bragg's tenure. So happy. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. So listen, we heard yesterday from Mr. Costello. We heard from Mr. Cohen as well. Michael Cohen was expected to go in yesterday to rebut what Costello said, but prosecutors determined somehow it wasn't necessary. Does this speak to anything that we should be looking forward to in the future, that possibly what Costello actually had to say didn't affect what Alvin Bragg and his investigators believe about this investigation?
Well, the grand jury has the right to call a witness. So they very well say, today we want to hear from Michael Cohen or hear from another witness. They have that ability to call for whatever testimony they think is important.
Yeah. I want to play this. This is what Costello had to say about Michael Cohen after testifying yesterday. Watch this.
The only thing I'm doing is trying to tell the truth to the grand jurors. Listen, if they want to go after Donald Trump and they have solid evidence, so be it. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence. This guy, by any prosecutor's standard, and I used to be deputy chief of the criminal division in the Southern District of New York, I wouldn't have touched a guy like Michael Cohen, especially if he's a convicted perjurer.
Listen, Michael Cohen did plead guilty, right? Went to jail. But also, Robert Costello has credibility issues as well. He's mentioned in the Mueller report his role in this whole hush money investigation and cover-up as well. He has credibility issues. So why on earth would they call him to testify?
Everyone's going to have credibility issues sort of when you're in this arena. There's a term swamp that's been thrown around, but if you're going to get evidence against those who are involved in these allegations, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to find a choir boy. You're going to find somebody who's immersed in it, and those people, unfortunately, may have some baggage.
Yeah. So we've heard from, at least the reporting is that Stormy Daniels, right, has appeared before the grand jury, at least by Zoom. Not sure if there's testimony, but saying that she would be available, she and her attorneys, that she would be available. We've heard from Michael Cohen. We've heard from Robert Costello and others. This appears to be wrapping up. Everyone wants to know when it's going to happen. What is the timeline? Is it going to be today? Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Having worked in the DA's office, is it possible to put a date or a time on that?
Within reason, there is. This is an ongoing investigation. It's not a reactive investigation. It's proactive. So the DA's office should really know at this point, and in fact, well before, who's going to testify and what, if anything, is going to happen to throw that off course. So I'd expect that they should be summing up or wrapping up soon. And then once that happens, it becomes a procedural issue. The indictment is filed, and ultimately they reach.
You okay? I want I want Democrats to be slimy. I want Democrats to be gross. I want Democrats to behave like Republicans. Does that mean that they're going to do anything like that materially benefits working class people? Of course not. But at least it'll make it a little bit more fun. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a Democrat, I'm behaving exactly how the Republicans did. Non-fucking stop. Non-fucking stop. You know what I mean? Like, remember what they did with like Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham himself. He was a part of the fucking Bill Clinton impeachment, you know? Bill Clinton cop dome in the White House. That's like unacceptable. All this shit. Like, come on. Behave like that. Look at like every single instance where like Republicans have manufactured outrage and just like do the same thing.
Reach out to the team for.
Also, if Donald Trump goes to prison, he has to tweet. Okay? That is my only like one rule that I'm putting on it, okay? If he goes to prison, he has to always tweet. Like Andrew Tate, you know, he's always like, in the darkness, have I found the light? I'm fighting ghosts. I'm shadow boxing. You know, that sort of thing. Like, I want Donald Trump to do that from prison. It would be so sick, I think. Like, that would be so much content. Because at this point, it's like, it's just about content. I'm in it for the content.
For Trump to take those next steps.
You say wrapping up soon. So what are the considerations now? If you're looking at someone who has insider knowledge, if you're looking at what is playing out, seeing Costello and Cohen, et cetera, go in, what is happening inside of the office right now?
I expect that all the evidence that they've wanted to present, they meaning the district attorney's office, has been presented. And if anything, for lack of a term, rebuttal or to clarify or to bolster, if that's the right term we want to use here, the credibility or what may have happened, that's going to come out now. But again, it's the grand jury's determination to decide what witnesses, if anything, they want to hear. But once that's wrapped up, the DA's office is ready to take those next steps.
Jeremy, is it the grand jury's determination? Because the grand jury vote to indict Donald Trump and then Alvin Bragg say, even with that, I'm not going to do it?
Once a grand jury indicts, or what's we call a true bill, they have to take that next step. Ultimately, the DA's office can decide what they want to do going forward, but once there's an indictment, it has to proceed.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This investigation has been called a zombie case. Everyone thought that after Cy Vance, that nothing was going to happen, that nothing would happen for so long under the current DA, Alvin Bragg, nothing happened. So what happened? How is this resuscitated or resurrected?
Well, the argument from the DA's office is that it wasn't resuscitated. It's been going on all along. It's an ongoing investigation. These things don't happen overnight. It takes time to develop. There's those who will argue that there was political pressure with the Pomerantz book and what's happening sort of socially. But the DA's office will take the position that we've always been doing our due diligence. This is about justice. This isn't about politics. And now we're at the point where you have to move it forward.
Yeah. If you're looking at this, people are expecting, will Donald Trump be handcuffed? Are we going to see him in a jumpsuit and what have you? It doesn't really work that way, especially when you have a high-profile defendant. Unless he wants to be paraded in front of cameras, there are means and efforts to sort of mitigate that, possibly going in, probably through an underground entrance and having this sort of expedited about him. My reporting is seeing a judge and doing it quickly, having the process play out quickly so that he doesn't have to be photographed or seen doing any of these things.
Well, he shouldn't be photographed once he's inside the building. But
bro, oh my God, please prep walk him. Dude, holy shit. Perp. I have something wrong with my brain. I said prep. I think it's because I didn't sleep enough last night with your mom. So like now, I just have something wrong with my brain. I'm like saying the wrong words over and over again. Did you see the AI generated perp walk images? Bro, I posted them on my Instagram.
But he'll be taken in like
except for a mugshot.
Well, that absolutely. He'll be taken in. There will be a mugshot. There'll be a fingerprint. And then they're going to expedite him and walk him to the courtroom. He'll have to walk down the hallway unless for some reason they decide to bring him up through the judicial areas. So there's a separate set of elevators he can come up through. But otherwise, he's going to be brought in like anybody else. And to your point, he may very well want to be seen. He very well want to make this an issue that there can be a public showing or display where he can make sort of a statement. But in court, I would expect he'd be relatively quiet, and his attorney will be doing most of the talking.
So you think they'll expedite the court process of seeing the judge part of it, right? Because that can take some time.
It can take some time.
You say, like, come on, bro, I already stole those. Yeah, bro, some artificial intelligence generator worked really fucking hard on that, dude. And then I stole the meme. Who am I supposed to credit? A robot? Like, what am I supposed to do there?
But they have to wait for the fingerprints. They, meaning law enforcement, has to wait for the fingerprints to get back. But yeah, it should move pretty quickly and efficiently. There's no reason to keep him there.
Steals
especially with
Mid-Journey
security risks
AI
and
memes,
concern
by
that
the way.
obviously the NYPD has.
Are we talking hours?
Hours from time of print, very well, potentially. But once he's in front of the judge, that's pretty quick. I mean, I wouldn't say snap of the fingers, but it could be a matter of minutes.